Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Tape my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Got 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah, just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's always a challenge to moderate the closing panel of any conference, particularly when you are in Sevilla, Spain, and the sun is shining. So thank you for those of you who remained for this closing panel of the Fast Track Cities 2022 conference. Before we get started, I've been asked by the municipality to announce that at the Teatro Alameda, there is a movie session from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. free of charge. These are short movies organized by the Fundación Triángulo, actually 7 of them. Very short, but relevant to the topics we've been discussing today. Again, Teatro Alameda, free entrance, 7 to 9 p.m. With that, I am pleased to open the closing panel of this conference, a conference that's been, I believe, successful in communicating the incredible work that our network of Fast Track Cities has been advancing over the last year, if not years. We're very proud of what you've accomplished, and I'll speak to that after our panelists. But I'd like to introduce our panelists at this moment. Dr. Julia Del Amo from the Division of Control of HIV, STIs, viral hepatitis, and tuberculosis. I don't know how you sleep with all that charge at the Ministry of Health of Spain. And Dr. Elske Hurenberg from GGD Amsterdam. Thank you very much for joining the closing panel. We're going to start with the announcement of the Fast Track Cities 2023 host city. So if we could cue the video, I'd be very grateful.
Delegates of the Fast Track Cities Conference, Mr. Zuniga, good afternoon. First off, I'd like to congratulate you on the conference in Seville. I would like to thank IAPAC for awarding the Regional Circle of Excellence to Amsterdam. It's an acknowledgement of all that we have achieved in our response to HIV. Since the early 1980s, Amsterdam has been working hard in the fight against HIV/AIDS. In recent years, Amsterdam has met the UN 1990 goals and is also very close to achieving the 95-95-95 goals. This matters because it improves the lives of thousands of people. However, in other parts of the world, the situation is very different. Many people are still being denied treatment, and this is barely ever due to medical reasons. Often it is caused by bigotry, homophobia, religious radicalism, unfair economic systems or government indifference. And the most important weapons in this fight are not just medicine and scientific evidence, but also, and more importantly, our ideals of freedom, open-mindedness, and social progress. We believe that Amsterdam has a responsibility to share its experiences with other cities. Cities around the world must cooperate so that we can all learn from each other's success stories and we strive for 0 new infections. Amsterdam has achieved so much in the fight against new HIV infections, and we are determined to continue this fight. Our aim is to reach 0 new HIV infections in the city by 2026. It's an ambitious goal, but Amsterdam wants to take the lead in finally bringing this epidemic to an end. These are some reasons why Amsterdam would be delighted to co-organize, together with IAPAC, the Fast Track Cities Conference of 2023. We look forward to seeing you next year in our beautiful city. And for those who have not yet visited Amsterdam, here's a quick glimpse. Until next year, and I wish you all the best.
The Amsterdam area is not only a wonderful place to live, it's also the perfect place for your next event or conference. Here's why. Amsterdam is well known for its up for almost anything attitude. This allows the city to do great things. With one of the world's fastest internet connections, the metropolitan area is a modern hotbed of disruptive technology. No wonder the city has been named the EU's capital of innovation. Also, the compact size of the city makes it easy to get around. You'll find open doors to all the venues you need to make your conference a success, from hotels and knowledge centres to other planning partners. And don't forget, it's the gateway to Europe, not only physically, be it by water, land or air, but socially as well. Did you know that Amsterdam is home to 180 nationalities, and that 94% of the local population speaks at least 2 languages? It's this connectivity, this willingness to work together, the openness to new ideas. It's the Amsterdam approach. Are you ready to experience it for yourself?
Congratulations to Amsterdam for the second time this week. So those of you who may have read our social media accounts, Amsterdam received a 2022 Circle of Excellence Award at this year's conference for their exemplary HIV program. When I go to a restaurant and I like something I'm eating, I'm never shy of asking the chef, what's the secret sauce? What is the secret sauce in Amsterdam's HIV response?
Well, to start, thank you very much for allowing us to have the conference next year in Amsterdam. We're delighted and looking very much forward to co-organizing it. And actually, our mayor already said, what is our secret? She showed that there's political commitment in Amsterdam. She herself and the whole city council is very dedicated to get to 0 new infections in 2026 in Amsterdam. But next to that, we have a very multidisciplinary approach. We work together in the H team already since 2013 with the representation of both the care sector, hospitals, GPs, public health service, but also NGOs, and with a very strong community involvement. And that's also one of the strong parts in Amsterdam. And to finish, we started early in Amsterdam with the approach. Also, that was very clear from the video. You saw the early harm reduction services for people who use drugs. And we're still continuing these services. And that really helped in the early and enduring response.
I've asked a number of the delegates, and we'll be asking this in an evaluation, obviously, to reflect on something they've learned at this year's conference that they might take back to their practice or to their city. I haven't had a chance to ask you, so I'll ask you now. Any reflection?
Definitely. What I really liked is that I hear so much about HIV self-testing. That is something that we have not really picked up in Amsterdam, only some small pilot studies. I love the vendor machines from Australia where you can get a free HIV self-test just out of the wall. That's something we would really like to pick up in Amsterdam. And then the energy in the Cohort of Champions meeting, the workshop actually today, where we actually had time to sit together with several cities and share experiences and think about how we can do better. That was a very positive thing at this conference that I liked a lot.
Well, thank you, and I know you're going to deliver a formal statement here at the close, but same question for you. You've been at the conference the entire 3 days from the Ministry of Health. Reflections?
Well, thank you very much, Jose, Elske. From the Ministry of Health perspective, I think the engagement of the community at the municipal level has been really an asset for us. We had been working with the autonomous regions and having the experience of interacting with all other municipalities in Spain under the guidance and the vision of Seville, who really is a champion in the country, is very rewarding. And for us, is definitely a step forward. I think this conference will definitely be remembered as a step forward in the response to HIV in Spain. So thank you very much.
As just a quick follow-up, as the minister indicated to us, there are now a little over 180 fast-track cities in Spain.
Yes,
it's the country with the most fast-track cities in the world. I'm just curious, because the minister has really taken this on as a priority, and national governments don't normally partner very easily with municipalities. What's at the heart of this partnership, and how do you see it advancing?
That's a very good question, because when I saw the Minister of Health and the Vice Minister of Health parading through the country, engaging municipalities, engaging other institutions that encompass municipalities, and engaging so actively, I was thrilled, I was moved, and I was scared, because obviously you do not want to generate expectations that we cannot meet. So the step forward definitely is to take this opportunity to actually do what we've been trying to do over the last 2 years with the Spanish Federation of Municipalities, which is a wide institution where all municipalities are included. And we had been moderately successful, but I wouldn't say it was perfect. But I think after Seville, this is the perfect opportunity to move on. So yeah, we've got plans. We may follow them up in Amsterdam, and we can show what we've done from Seville to Amsterdam, yeah.
We're very proud of the network here in Spain, and obviously Sevilla was the first fast-track city to sign on very early in the initiative. Back to you. Question, and more of a regional question. There are now, there were 100 so odd fast-track cities in Europe. Now there are 280 fast-track cities in Europe. You're part of the cohort of champions that is looking at cross-cutting challenges related to the HIV response in urban settings. What is your hope that we could get out of the Amsterdam conference next year that comes from the region and speaks to cross-cutting challenges that they're facing, and how can we translate that more globally?
Well, I think at the conference, we will, at the Amsterdam conference, I hope we will continue the conversations that started in the Fast Track Cities initiative. Here today at this conference, we've made new friends, and we will make more new friends in Amsterdam, from Europe, and hopefully also from other regions in the world. And we will again work very much together with the community. Let's do this together. Let's stop the epidemic together. And we have a wonderful team in Amsterdam, and there's quite a few here. Can you all rise or wave so that everyone sees how many people from Amsterdam? How great is that? So we really welcome you, and next year in Amsterdam, and make a great conference.
Last question before we have our closing statements. What can we look forward to as we prepare ourselves to gather again at the Fast Track Cities 2023 conference in Amsterdam?
Well, prepare yourself with all your good ideas, with a pair of good shoes, because we won't stay in the conference, but we really have the ambition to show you some places where the magic happens. Some of the harm reduction services, some of the sexual health clinics, maybe some of the places where the community really comes together and works together. So that would be very good as a preparation for the Amsterdam conference.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Amsterdam. Congratulations both for the Circle of Excellence Award as well as being selected as a venue for next year's conference. We've now been to London, we've been to Lisbon, we've been to Sevilla, and we're looking forward to a successful conference in Amsterdam.
Thank you.
With that, I would like to ask Julia del Amo to say some closing remarks. If you want to take the lectern or speak from here, your choice.
I'll stay here, if that's
okay.
all right. That's all right, yes. Since we've got the mics here, that is a bit of work, so let's use it. Thank you, José. Thank you, Elske. Thank you all, survivors, friends, and colleagues. It's really been an amazing week, and I definitely feel very reinvigorated and very inspired to continue the work. There are many people to thank and many institutions to thank. For the sake of time, I just really want to concentrate and thank the City of Seville for having done such an outstanding work, not only in the context of the conference, but in the context of the response to HIV, sexually transmitted infections, viral hepatitis, and tuberculosis in Spain at the municipal level. You led the way, you've really been a model, and you've inspired many of the actions that will be followed up from now onwards. So thank you very much. And as I was telling after José's questions just a little while ago, we're grateful because we bring back the commitment of our Minister of Health and our Vice Minister of Health to translate global goals into local success. And this is the perfect space for doing that. And we've learned from all of these experiences. We've seen the implementation of different projects in different settings. This is definitely something that we're taking with us. I think the conference in Seville will remain our hearts, and the contribution of the Seville Declaration to the involvement of the community in their response to HIV will be something that will remain with us forever. I just want to congratulate Amsterdam. I've known Elske and Maria Prince for many years. Good friend, good colleague. They are an amazing team. Everything they do, they're so good at everything they do. They really are amazing. Many of the success is also due to having excellent epidemiology, so all their actions are data-driven. They really are an inspiration and a model for us all. I always say this when I'm in Amsterdam, and I work with Amsterdam people, so it's no news to you. And I really wish you all the best, and I look forward to being there in 2 years. Good luck, and go for it. Thank you.
I would like to ask someone who's become a friend, the Deputy Mayor of Sevilla, Nani Aguilar, to please say a few words, if you will, to the conference as we close.
Thank you. Hola, buenas tardes. Bueno, yo ya poco tengo que decir. Simplemente daros las gracias por haber venido a Sevilla, decir que habéis cumplido un sueño, porque para nosotros esto ha sido un sueño. Gracias al Ministerio, gracias al EPAC, gracias a todos los que habéis estado aquí. Creo que la Declaración de Sevilla nos pone nuevos retos que tenemos que enfrentar. Creo que hemos aprendido mucho de los retos que ya estamos superando y cómo estamos trabajando desde los municipios, que creo que, bueno, yo que me dedico a esto de la política local, creo que es fundamental que desde ahí trabajemos todo lo que tengamos que hacer. Así que lo que nos queda es enfrentar los nuevos retos, daros las gracias. Espero que hayáis disfrutado de mi ciudad, seguro que sí, porque es una ciudad maravillosa, una de las mejores del mundo, y esperar que volváis pronto. Después de la Declaración de Sevilla volveremos, ¿no? En algún momento volveremos, y si no en Sevilla, como bien habéis dicho, en España, en cualquier otro lugar del mundo. El problema del SIDA es un problema global y necesitamos respuestas globales desde lo local. Así que tengáis buen viaje de regreso a donde vayáis, a vuestros países y a vuestras ciudades. Y aquí tenéis a una amiga en Sevilla. Para lo que necesitéis, aquí tenéis una amiga y el Ayuntamiento a vuestra disposición.
So
always a sad moment when we close conferences, but also somewhat of a relief for all of us, especially when we have such robust programs as we had last 3 days. As we conclude this year's conference, I want to encourage us all to reflect on how we will take what we have learned from each other to optimize our work on behalf of the people we serve, to whom we deliver services, and for whom we advocate. And in my mind, while there are myriad priorities upon which we should focus, these are some around which I hope to hear more about your progress next year in Amsterdam. What new innovations will you have adopted within an implementation science framework to continue closing gaps across the continua of prevention and treatment for HIV, tuberculosis, and viral hepatitis? How will you harness the power of city multilateralism in public health that is critical to advance the fast-track cities' goals, objectives, and targets, even when national and international uncertainties prevail, including unprovoked wars? What steps will you take to implement the Sevilla Declaration on the centrality of affected communities to urban HIV responses? And how will you ensure that placing people and communities at the center is less a slogan and more the reality, with your communities leading the responses to HIV, tuberculosis, and viral hepatitis? How did you address disease-specific and intersectional stigma as a persistent threat, and in reality, an enemy to public health? And what steps did you take to stop stigma from stripping away the right to dignity, health, and well-being for all people living with it and affected by HIV, tuberculosis, and viral hepatitis? Finally, within a social transformation context, how have you prioritized shattering the status quo of inequities and inequalities, whether with respect to women and girls, LGBTQ and other key populations, children and youth, or others who face marginalization and isolation? I'm sure you will answer those questions adequately next year at the Fast Track Cities 2023 conference. In closing, my deepest gratitude to the people of Sevilla for making us feel at home, and to its mayor, Antonio Muñoz Martinez, and his deputy mayor, Nani, for their warm embrace. We are grateful to the Spanish government, notably the Minister of Health, Carolina Darias, Secretary of State for Health, Silvia Calzón, and of course, our friend Julia Lamont, for engaging in a national partnership with now more than 180 fast-track cities in Spain. I appreciate UNAIDS and all our partners, our distinguished faculty, my indefatigable staff, and our sponsors, without whom this conference would not be possible. But above all, I thank you, fast-track cities, for your tireless work to end HIV, tuberculosis, and viral hepatitis. I have enjoyed learning with and from you this past week. And as I officially close the Fast Track Cities 2022 conference, I also take an opportunity to wish you safe travel home and hope that you will join us next year at Fast Track Cities 2023 in Amsterdam. Thank you.